What's going on? It's your boy, Sheep the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. Let's talk about Obi Wan Kenobi. It's time to discuss if there could be potentially a season 2. Let's get it. Let's get in the lair. I hope you guys are having a great day. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you are new and smash that like button if you're coming in. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's get to talking some Obi Wan Kenobi. So we are going to be talking about episode 5 today a little bit. If you have not seen it, go watch that episode. It's really good. But spoiler alert for anybody that has not seen episode 5 yet, go watch that first before you hang out over here, because there's too much to talk about after that episode. Still perfect to me. I've been watching it a couple times over since the other day when it finally came out. I was hoping to stream with you guys yesterday and we didn't end up doing that, but it's good to be hanging with you guys today. Spartan Joker, Rerun Trading, my guy Tim, and Star Wars Obsession, Luis Escalante and Don. Good to see you guys too, everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are having a great week. Happy almost Friday. It's almost here. Let's talk about some Obi Wan Kenobi though. So could there be a season 2? I don't really want to get too much into the spoilers of the finale that's going to be this next Wednesday. Crazy to think about how fast this show has already gone by, but the fact that there, is rumors of a season 2 out there, reports of different things, it's exciting prospect knowing that we could get more of this Kenobi show. At least from my perspective, I've really been enjoying the show, and I think a season 2 would be a surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one. And I can't wait for it, man. Shane Keller, welcome into the chat. Hope you're doing well, man. Not too much is up. Not too much is up. What's up with you, my guy? So, could we get a season 2 though? Well, let's talk about this finale in a non-spoilery way, because honestly, even the spoilers are a little bit up in the air, which I love to see. So, honestly, we don't even know what to expect with this last episode, but the way that episode 5 set us up, I'm really hoping that we can get one more fight between Vader and Kenobi. I think that might happen. I don't really know how, and I think the closer that Vader gets to Luke, the closer they are to having some scuffles with the canon. So I don't think Vader's gonna see Luke, or probably Leia either, for that matter. I don't think that happens in the final episode. I think Kenobi's going to do everything he can to prevent that from happening. But the interesting thing that came out of episode 5 was the development with Reva's character. Finding out that she indeed is a youngling that Anakin ended up basically stabbing during Order 66. And she had planned all this time for over 10 years, just about 10 years, to basically betray him. Now, what point did she kind of become an Inquisitor? I'm really curious. I hope we do see more of her character. So if somehow there is a season 2 that's kind of a spin-off with Reva, personally, I'm up for it, man. I would love to see more of her character, whether it is flashbacks or going forward with the story. I just don't think that she's going to survive to the time of A New Hope and beyond. You know what I mean? I don't think her character will be around forever. I think she is destined to at some point fall, and maybe she's even going to die in episode 6, to be honest. That's kind of where I think her character is heading. I don't know for sure if she's going to die or not, but that's kind of my guess at this point. Smalls, good to see you in the chat too. Anthony, YouTube fan, and of course my boy Star Wars MCU OG. Good to see you in the chat. Hello, good people. Oh yes, good people you guys are indeed. Anthony, YouTube fan, says, I don't want Reva anywhere near Tatooine or Luke Skywalker. Well, we will see. We will see. I think there's a way that could make sense. They already kind of set up for that to happen. I don't know. It feels like that's kind of the setup that we got. And I know that was kind of a rumor a while ago that would happen. Or maybe even potentially part of the leaks. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been keeping good track. But I know Jason over at Making Star Wars was really accurate with the leaks for this show. So I definitely have read some of them throughout, the course of the past few months. Most of them, in fact. So if the way it kind of was set up in this last episode, it seems like Reva is kind of putting the pieces together that there's an asset Obi Wan is protecting on Tatooine, and it might be one of these children. You know what I mean? And plus the fact that he says, Bill Organa says on the little thing, Owen, and she remembers Owen for sure from her little cutting handoff interaction of the townspeople of Tatooine. You know what I mean? So it seems like that's kind of the trajectory it's going, where she's gonna go towards Tatooine, and I don't know what would happen though. Like, to me, it doesn't really make sense for her to use Luke as bait for Kenobi, unless like I don't know why she would want to get back in the Inquisitorius program. They already figured her out. They figured her out from the beginning. You know what I mean? Anakin's known she was a youngling since he stabbed her as a youngling. But I don't know. I don't know why she would go back there. Maybe she's trying to find her place in the galaxy. And maybe she does go to Luke and kind of gets her perspective shifted. Who knows? If she does, I don't think it breaks canon by any means. Personally, I'm open to seeing how it kind of takes place, how it happens. My bigger issue is if Vader would go. Mike, I like Kenobi Porter donates the $2 super chat. My guy. Much love to you, Mike Porter. He says, so glad you're streaming, my man. Me too. I was trying to do some streams yesterday and I didn't feel that great, and mental health can take a toll on all of us, so make sure to take care of your guys' mental health. If you guys ever want to reach out to me, I'll do my best to get back to any of you guys in the Discord or on Twitter. Feel free to DM me, because I know what it feels. I know what it's like. Spartan Joker, hello my lord. Much love to the Simpire indeed. And Mike Porter, you're an absolute legend, my guy. Mike, I love Kenobi Porter. Sheev the Kenobi simp wise. It works. But that's one of my kind of things. I think that Reva could be a spin-off if she does survive, whether she's going to end up helping with the path. Maybe she's going to end up becoming part of the early Rebel Alliance. I'm not sure. Honestly, how a Reva spin-off would work. I think Moses Ingram has done a great job, though. Shout out to Moses Ingram and Vivian, who I think, Vivian Lyra Blair, that is, the actress who plays Leia. I think the two of them deserve more opportunities to be in Star Wars, so I'd be fine if both of their characters end up returning for Kenobi Season 2, if it's just literally another story kind of following Kenobi. The thing about doing a Kenobi Season 2, though, that I might be, I don't know about worried about, because personally, everything is canon, or like everything's canon until it isn't, kind of a thing. Like, anything could have happened during the time period of the 20 years that happens between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. You know what I mean? Any type of stories could have been told between that time. But the more stories they do with Kenobi during this time period, the more chance they have to kind of upset fans with the canon, like we've already seen with this first season of Kenobi. And while there's a very loud positive side of fandom that I've had the pleasure of seeing the past couple of weeks, there is still that negative side, and they are pretty loud as well. So it's hard to do more and more seasons, I think, even though their numbers are doing great. And that leads me to another point, because the Kenobi show is doing so well numbers wise, I know for a fact, and so many normie fans, or like casual fans, I guess you could say, of Star Wars, people that don't dig into the comics and some of the animated TV shows and stuff, you know, some of the more casual watchers are having a great time with this show from what I've seen. So it wouldn't shock me at all if they ended up doing a season 2, and I personally would welcome it. Tim says, I want a Vader show more than anything. Honestly, I've been kind of in the boat where I thought doing a Vader show was a little bit kind of like hopeful, just because we've had so much Vader. You know, the first 6 movies are, you know, kind of about him. And then the Clone Wars, he is one of the main characters in that as well. We've really had a lot of Vader and a lot of Anakin, or a lot of Anakin at least. Personally, though, the way that they've been able to do Vader, whether it's bringing him into Fallen Order, bringing him here into Kenobi, anytime they've brought him into canon, I feel like Disney or Lucasfilm has knocked it out of the park with him. So the more they do it, and bringing Hayden back for the character and everything, and for Anakin, I'd be down for a Vader series, man. I think it, you know, I saw a tweet today, it's only a matter of time. Of course, there was some backlash to that. I'm down for it, man. I think they should do it while they can. Why not? You know, give us some more Vader. We all love it. It's some of the best parts of the Kenobi show, I'll say. Is this where unicorns go to eat babies, says Second Street Marvel? No. You can find that on the Den of Nerds. No, I'm just playing. Probably can, though. Leia Rose, it's good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. But let me know what you guys think. What are you guys thinking on the finale? What are you guys expecting or hoping for with this Obi Wan Kenobi finale next week? And then what are your thoughts on a season 2? Because again, personally, I would welcome it. I've been enjoying the show, but I know there might be some other opinions out there. Tim says Mace Windu could be a perfect antagonist. No. I would love for Mace Windu to come back. I don't know if he would be an antagonist to Kenobi. I think there is other stuff they could do, though. Like, they could show us the Black Chrysanthemum stuff. They could put that into a season 2. I don't know, though. It would probably be more conflict with Vader. And that's the thing. Is like, the more they do Kenobi versus Vader, the more it's kind of like, you know, the more fans start questioning. Leia Rose says, I am after episodes 5 and 6 coming. Not sure what you mean, but hello there. Tim says, no, I mean for Vader. Oh, Mace would be a perfect antagonist for Vader. In a Vader show? Oh, yeah. I guess that's the next thing we could talk about is potential spin-offs other than a Reva show. So what if they did do a Kenobi season 2 that focuses on Darth Vader? Oh, I'm in. I don't know about you guys. A Darth Vader season of Kenobi, or, you know, a Darth Vader season spin-off? Do it. You know what I mean? That would be amazing. And they definitely could do Mace Windu or a number of characters. Heck, we could just follow him around killing Jedi. I'm cool with that. You know? I love the embodiment of, in the flashbacks, the Attack of the Clones flashbacks we got, where Anakin and Obi-Wan are sparring, and Anakin's movements, Hayden, you know, did it great. I don't know if it was, you know, some of the stunt coordinators, but I know Hayden and Ewan like to do a lot of their own, you know, saber fighting. So seeing Anakin swing that saber, though, it just looked like the embodiment of Vader. Like, Vader has never felt more Anakin than in this episode, I think. I love 5. Looking forward to 6. Nice. Okay, I get what you're saying, Leia. Justin B says, I feel like their writing has been a little McClunky. Maybe at times, Justin B. I don't know, though. Honestly, I've been really liking the writing, and I feel like it's hard to write a story like this with all the kind of canon restrictions they have. And I feel like they've done a good job of trying to make it make sense and make it work as a story. I think certain things have been McClunky or worked to move the plot forward, and I get what you're saying. I get what a lot of fans are saying with the writing issues I guess they're having. For me, it works, though. It really does. It really works. There's little things that I kind of look past and that aren't really that big deals to me. But I know where you're coming from, I think. Hey, what's up, Nerd Mafia? Hope you're doing well. Tim says, we talked about how it would be hard to do a hopeful story with Vader as the main character, but I thought, who could be a match for Vader? I just thought of Mace. That'd be dope. I don't know. Again, I don't know how they'd make it hopeful to your point there, talking about that, but that would be cool, though. He hopes that he can kill Mace, I'll tell you that. Mike, I love Kenobi Porter, says, well, I will like episode 6, but a lot of people will have problems with it. I would like a season 2, but they will probably continue the characters in some way. I'm thinking that too, you know. There was a rumor a very long time ago that there would be an Inquisitor show to kind of spin out of this. I would love that still. I would still love an Inquisitor show, and I do think if they found a way to kind of spin off of characters with this. Now, Roken and obviously characters that have unfortunately passed away, I don't know how you can really continue their story. We'll see maybe in episode 6 if they find a way to kind of continue that. But other than that, I feel like any kind of spin-offs would have to be kind of dark side users, or maybe more Kenobi himself. My biggest problem is nerddom is I like everything. Mike Porter, I don't think that's a problem, man. I'm glad for you. I'm kind of in a similar boat. I happen to like a lot of stuff nerdy. And maybe that classifies me as a shill, because I like most things and I find a way to enjoy most things. But we're two sheaves in a pod, Mike Porter. The camera resolution looks fire. Well, thank you for that, Green Bear. It looks fire because of you. So Leia Rose says Kenobi Part 6 will be a cliffhanger that will lead to the second season. Possibly. I don't know. I feel like they might even wrap it up in its own little bubble and make the first season kind of a solitary thing where it's open-ended to a second season. I think that might be more of the way it goes, but I don't know. You might be right. Maybe it will be a big cliffhanger. And Ewan McGregor himself has, been very vocal about wanting a second season of Kenobi. And, I say do it. Talk about the 93-minute runtime rumor and what you think. Okay, so on this little thing, there has been a rumor going around that basically because of the movie theater showings of Kenobi, so basically there's going to be these theaters, select theaters in Canada, and I think certain parts of the US. I'm not exactly sure. It looked like mainly Canada was doing it, but select theaters are going to be playing all 6 episodes of Kenobi the night of the finale, or the day of the finale, or not sure how that works, but basically they're going to be playing all 6 episodes, and the last episode is listed as an hour and 33 minutes long, or 93 minutes as Tim says. However, something to note is that the episode length is likely not going to be 93 minutes. The reason it's 93 minutes is most likely because there is a Q&A involved with, I believe, the actors, or some of the actors, and Deborah Chow. That's at least my understanding of it. So it'll likely be closer to 50 minutes, maybe 60. I'm hoping for that hour, and there's probably going to be 30 minutes of Q&A for the fans at the theater. So that's kind of the rumor with that. It's not going to be an hour and 33. It'll likely be about an hour in length, maybe a little under. Much love though, Tim. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Tim says, I don't even think it's real at all, but who knows? No, it is real. It is real, but it's not the episode length. I can almost promise you that. I don't think an hour and 33 minutes is the episode length. I mean, something you got to think of, the Bad Batch gave us a first episode on May 4th that was an hour and 15 at one point. So that's been one of the longest episodes I think we've gotten of anything. And I don't think it'll be over an hour. I don't think it'll be over an hour, if I'm being honest. I think the longest it'll be is an hour and 5 minutes, hour and 15. I'll believe the runtime when I see it on Disney Plus, says Tim. Good way to go with it. Mike, I like Kenobi Porter says a Darth Vader show would be fire, but I don't want them to weaken him, to humanize him. He can still call himself 10% of the time. Okay, he can still question himself 10% of the time, and 90% of the time he's ruthless. Disney does not need to mess. What the fuck? It's not if it's not 66 minutes long. You said it, Steve. That's what they need to do. 66-minute finale. How excited would the fandom be? Execute Order 66 in episode 6. Do it. Star Wars Politics says, yes, I do want Kenobi Season 2. Let's go! Hey, Nerd Mafia, much love for the $5 super chat. He says, commit to next Wednesday night right now. I don't know if I can commit, but if my schedule this week is the same next week, I'm in. I'll tell you that. Hey, Steve Starenka, it's good to see you in the chat, my guy. Much love. Star Wars Politics says, hey Steve, hey Mike Porter, Tim, and Yoshi. Much love, Politics. So let's talk about a little flashback scene. Obviously, there were multiple flashback scenes for those of us that watched episode 5, and one of them definitely was leaked. And shout out to Jason Ward for he got that one pretty dang accurate. The Attack of the Clones flashbacks. We did think, according to his flashback rumor leak, that we were gonna get some stuff that was like just after. Like, I kind of thought it would be the Brotherhood book, like around that time period. But it seems as though these flashbacks take place right before Attack of the Clones, or just before. And yes, Anakin and Obi-Wan don't look that de-aged. I know. I mean, if we're being honest, Hayden did look a bit older. I've already seen some new, face overlaps like people did with Luke, or like, I've seen some other deep fakes of Anakin, and they look pretty good. And the only thing I'll say to that is the technology advances, man. Like, look at what they originally did with Luke Skywalker to what we got now. And if there is a season 2 of Kenobi, I think we'll get more flashbacks. I think there's even more flashbacks to come still, maybe in the Ahsoka show. But I think if we get, more flashbacks in the future, that it's going to look better than this did. And I don't even think this was that bad. I saw some complaints about Coruscant, and Coruscant did look a little deader than it was, where like there weren't as many like flying ships and whatnot, but it's not that big of a deal to me. I think it looked and felt like, the time of the flashbacks. And I have a theory that flashbacks look a little different. And like, if we really want to get nitpicky, Hayden didn't have his scar in the Order 66 flashbacks. It's not that big of a deal though, this is little stuff. Hey, everybody coming into the chat. Darth Chaos, Proxy, it's good to see you guys. Justin B says, I just want one flashback to Anakin and General Kenobi fighting together against the Separatists. Me too, man. Heck, I want a flashback that has Ahsoka and Rex and all of them. I want that in live action, man. I've wanted that for a while. I think the Ahsoka show might be the place to do it, though. And obviously, I did my little video loosely based on Jason's leaks and everything that I kind of had known a little bit before episode 5, hoping that we would get them and hoping that the leaks were correct and everything, and they turned out to be. So I do think it's possible we're going to get animated Clone Wars in live action, if that makes sense. So like, we're going to get that Clone Wars show in live action, but I think it's going to be in the Ahsoka show. I think, the Ahsoka show is Dave's show. That's like, he's the showrunner. He's probably going to be directing most of it, hopefully. I mean, it'd be cool to see an ensemble group of directors like they do for The Mandalorian too. But that's Dave Filoni's show, though. And if anybody's going to do Clone Wars flashbacks, I think it'll be Dave. Second Street Marvel says people will be like, he still looks young. No, it's the baby fat we have well into our 20s. Yeah, you can see it on me. You know what I mean? 212 Degrees says CGI wasn't that good. See, yeah, most people didn't think it was great, but I honestly thought it worked for me. You know what I mean? It didn't take me out of it, and like, obviously you notice it, but it was like, all right, this is cool. Like, it was just really cool to have the Attack of the Clones, Anakin and Obi-Wan back. Darth Chaos says, I think this suffered a bit being filmed during the pandemic. We give everything else a break because of it. True. That definitely could be part of it as well. So it's like a little bit closer to the... I mean, we're still in the pandemic, so what am I even talking about? But he's a 41-year-old teenager, but it's good enough for me. Yeah. Tim says they rushed the show a little bit for sure, getting it out for celebration. That definitely could be the case. Honestly, if we want to get nitpicky with the show, there's been little kind of imperfections here or there throughout the entire thing. And I think with... the time period that they had, the television budget that they had, I think it looks fantastic for what it is and for what they did. I can't even find complaints when I'm trying to like nitpick at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to do that. I know a lot of fans, like, the things aren't up to Star Wars quality maybe for them, or whatever it may be for me, it just works, man. It works. It really does. Justin B says their budget was half of Mandalorian for some reason too. See, that's what I'm saying. It definitely should have been like double the Mandalorian's budget. It probably should have been double. Star Cabal says just joined your Discord server. That's what's up, my guy. I'll see you in the Discord server for sure. Darth Chaos says Ahsoka will probably be the best show ever. I've been saying this. Now, I'm so excited for the Ahsoka show, though. I literally cannot wait for 2023. But, I mean, something cool about the Ahsoka show that I honestly have not even really talked about much is I think there could even be stuff that we maybe enhances our viewing of the Ahsoka show in both The Mandalorian Season 3 and, of course, Tales of the Jedi, too. The fact Tales of the Jedi is going to be a 6-episode show where half the episodes are kind of based on parts of Ahsoka's life that we don't know too much about. It's really, really an exciting prospect to me that we're going to get that kind of stuff a little bit before the Ahsoka show, you know what I mean? I think it's going to work super well. I'm super excited for everything that they're doing the rest of this year and next year, for sure. Is there an echo in here? What? Star Wars Politics says, yeah, expect Clone Wars or Rebels flashbacks in Ahsoka for sure. Heck, maybe it's not even Rebels flashbacks, but maybe they see stuff from the world between worlds. Like, how cool would it be to see the portal? The portals from Rebels, you know what I mean? Brandon Deeks, I think that's how you say it, says, other than the glaring Organa now is... My bad. Other than the glaring Organa now is a known public enemy of the Empire plot hole, the show has been pretty good. Cheesy effects on occasion for such a wealthy corporation is unacceptable. I want to disagree with you, but at the same time, like, because this is really Lucasfilm that's making it, and like Disney gives them like a set budget, so like they definitely should have. I'm gonna agree with this point for sure. Definitely should have been a bigger budget for this show. However, to pull it off with the actors and the stuff they did, to me, like, some of the volume stuff wasn't perfect in episode 5, and even in different parts of the show here or there. But I mean, for sure they should do more like offset stuff like they're doing for Andor, like on location, you know what I mean? And I think maybe this show has shown a little bit of the flaws of doing stuff on with the LED screens, doing it within the volume. But at the same time, like, it's almost way better to me to have that and have the stories we have than to see the progression of it too, you know what I mean? Because it does get better over time. It does get better. And you know, again, to your point though, we need a bigger budget for an Obi Wan Kenobi show. It's all about the money, says Proxy. It usually is. It was 25 million, says Star Cabal. So then 50 was Mandalorian was 50 million. And the other thing you got to think about, Ewan and Hayden are probably more expensive to bring in than characters from the Mandalorian. But I don't know either. Wasn't it 90 million? I don't know what the budget was, if I'm being honest. It doesn't seem like it was big enough. That's what I'm trying to say. Your boy Myrtle has better graphics? Oh no. I definitely don't. That's the thing I think of too, is like some people that are complaining about the story or the graphics too. I'm like, honestly, like, make it better. Like, do it better. And I'm not trying to be like a butthole, although I kind of am, I guess. But like, I can't make a better show than what they're doing. Hell nah. I also heard it was 90 million. They probably have enough money but need more time. That's probably true, Tim. I don't know. To be honest, it was good enough for me. I've loved it. Like I said, man, it's been really good. I can't wait for Shomer Chavez versus Reva Skywalker in Mandalorian season 1. That broke my brain a little bit, Second Street. Brandon says Phantom Menace looks better with old tech. I'm gonna have to argue with that one. There's like on Naboo, there's certain scenes in Phantom Menace and Phantom Menace that are kind of hurt my eyes. With their resources, most people could do better. Oh, with their resources? Damn, shots fired. Falcon was $150 million budget. Kenobi is better, so I don't know if budget matters. It helps, no doubt. Okay, but then imagine $150 million budget for both of them. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't think Kenobi had a $150 million budget. Why is the volume not glaring in Mando, but obviously here? Is it really all the director BDH for everything? That's an excellent question, Don, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think there's some limitations to what they can do with the volume. And when they're doing sand planets in particular, I think it looks rougher. I don't know why, though. Like, I have to go back to Mando Season 1 and see some of the Tatooine stuff. And maybe, because Book of Boba Fett, I think it looked a little bit iffy at times, too. And that was filmed at the same kind of time as Kenobi was in the same volume. So maybe there's just something about doing Tatooine and different like sand planets. Because to me, what planet? Jabeam, there was some stuff like, don't get me wrong, I love the Jabeam stuff. I thought that it gave me a lot of Empire Strikes Back vibes, and it was really cool to see how they kind of played it off like that. The base, however, some of the stuff there looked a little interesting to me because of the stuff. The planet that Obi-Wan went to in episode 3 or 4, 3, I think. The one, yeah, episode 3, the planet he went there that had like dirt and sand that looked like almost like Southern California. That place looked a little interesting to me on the volume 2, but other like it's like sand planets to me, I think. I don't know. I've noticed the volumes in season 1. I don't like it. Interesting. Honestly, I thought it looked good in season 1 of Mando. I thought it looked really good. Season 2 also, it looked better. Season 2, I think it's looked the best. Kenobi has me chillin'. Me too. Me too, Chaos. Tim says, I mean, if you had the same budget but more time, it's probably going to look way better. But they should have done it better for sure. Yeah, like, again, man. I'd rather have this stuff and the way it looks right now, because I still think it looks really good. Still think it looks pretty good. And, you know, we can sit here and complain about how Hayden looks 40. We could sit here and complain about the volume. But at the end of the day, the freaking story, the episode, not much better Star Wars to me. Not much better. Nerd Mafia, I didn't notice it or care about the volume. I'm just a sucker for Star Wars, man. You said it, man. You said it to me. Interesting, because I still haven't noticed it that much in Kenobi either. Proxy said never noticed the volume in Mando or Boba as much as Kenobi. I feel like I haven't noticed it that much in any of them in particular. Like Kenobi, it's been a little glaring here or there. Boba Fett, there's like a night scene on Tatooine where it definitely looked a little bit interesting to me. But I feel like it's hard to recreate desert places unless you go out and do it. And that's why with Tython in season 2 of Book of Boba, they went to Simi Valley and everything. It really shows up in the nighttime scenes. It looks totally fake, jarring. Yeah, that's kind of where I've noticed it the most too, Second Stream Marvel. But I don't... It works still. I don't know. It works still for me. Was it Jabeam that was filmed by you and Callie, or was that for Andor? Steve, that was actually not Jabeam. That wasn't for Kenobi. Although Kenobi was shot in California, like the Manhattan Beach studios and everything. But that was Tython in season 2 of Mando. It was shot not too far from where I live. 212 Degrees says, would y'all want a Reva spinoff? I think it would be a little weird knowing she's already had a spinoff called Obi Wan. I don't really think it's a spin-off for Reva. A spin-off is when you take a supporting character or one of the main characters of a show, which Reva happens to be probably the main supporting or antagonist other than Vader. And yes, I'd be down for a spin-off. I'd be down for a spinoff for Reva. I talked about it earlier. I don't know how it would work, whether she ends up surviving, if they're gonna continue her story on, or like how long they would even be able to. Whether that's just a one season kind of a thing, because I don't think she lives to A New Hope. But I would love to see more of her and like what led to her becoming an Inquisitor. I think that can make a really good story, whether that does happen to be a comic or, you know, a spin-off or season 2 or whatever they end up doing. Because I do think they're gonna bring Reva into Star Wars more. Second Street Marvel says the more they can put in frame and not show the screen, the less noticeable. True, I've seen that. They definitely try to do it. Ronan Unchained, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. Mike Porter says I went to the volume and my neighbors told me to turn it down. Good one. Steve Starenka says I would too. I prob wasn't before the last episode, but now, yeah, give me more. Yeah, to me, seeing Reva and getting the conclusion, or you know, the kind of the full wrapping of her character, getting that little backstory was really impactful for her, and to see why she is the way she is at this point. And I think going back and watching this season, watching episodes 1 through 6, it's gonna be a good story. Or it has been a very good. Justin B says, do you think there's still a chance we'll see Cal Kestis? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get too many more cameos like that. I think if we do get any cameos this last episode, it's going to be stuff maybe like Qui-Gon Jinn. I'm crossing my fingers we get something like Jar Jar. That'd be kind of funny or cool. But I don't think we're going to get too many more flashbacks. I know Deborah Chow did say that the second half of the season was more cameo heavy, I guess. I think if we do get a cameo, it's gonna be Qui-Gon Jinn's like Force Ghost or voice, or I don't know. I think Obi-Wan's finally gonna reach out to him though. That's one of the only loose ends that they have going into this final episode. I can't wait for Tales of the Jedi, says 212 degrees. It'll have to think it'll have a Bad Batch vibe and it won't feel kiddish. Definitely think it's going to be a bit darker than the Bad Batch even, and the Bad Batch has been dark at times, so I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be super kiddish either. I think it'll still have adjustable themes and stories for kids, you know what I mean, but I definitely get that sentiment that you're giving off there, 212. I agree 100%. Tales of the Jedi, I think, is my next most anticipated project in terms of what's coming. Like, Andor is August 31st, and it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good from even the little tidbits I've heard, which isn't too much, but I think Andor is going to be a really good show, but Tales of the Jedi is something I'm even more excited for. Brandon Deek says, do you think Vader is keeping Reva alive like he does the Grand Inquisitor since she has been stabbed twice? Interesting question. The way that scene kind of ended, they're saying, you know, the Grand Inquisitor literally leaves the scene saying, we will leave you in the gutter where we found you, kind of a thing. And I almost wonder that myself, if there's any more purpose to her, because her purpose is done. That's why they've thrown her back into the gutter. But I wonder if they didn't do more than just stab her. And obviously that was poetic, and you know, maybe they think she'll die, but I wonder if they still think the Force has use of her. I don't know. Interesting question. I don't think he planned to leave her alive though, if that's the... Not sure. Tim says we still haven't seen the last episode. True. Matthew Cruz, welcome to the chat, my guy. I hope you're doing well. How much you love episode 5? I'm still tripping. I'm definitely still tripping myself, and I love it that much. More than the screen can even handle. I love episode 5, man. It was great. 212 says, no way we don't get Qui-Gon, although I can see us not seeing him, and then that leads into season 2 where Qui-Gon is fully involved. I would love to see that. That's a great little addition there, 212 degrees. That'd be awesome to see. Maybe season 1 we finish off with him seeing Qui-Gon. In season 2 he trains with him a lot, and we get Kenobi really becoming the Alec Guinness. Like, he's starting to in this show and finding his hope again throughout season 1. In season 2 he's training, becoming that Jedi Master that we see in Rebels and then in A New Hope. G-Motion EDC says Reva just won't die. Yeah, she's a little bit like Anakin and Darth Maul that way, She's not having any of that death. Revenge does wonders for those who are dead. You have to murder younglings, 212? Oh man. Just curious, how do you get mod? Yeah, you gotta murder some younglings. Tim says, I can see Qui-Gon showing up. We usually get Force Ghosts at the end, I feel. I agree, man. That is kind of an ending trope that we get with Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean? Think of Rise of Skywalker and the Force voices showing up at the end of that. And Return of the Jedi. It's an end thing. Steve Starenka says, we're all waiting for Qui-Gon to speak to Obi Wan Kenobi. But what if he talks to Vader instead? That'd be sick. That'd be sick if he I would love for him to talk to both. So in the Brotherhood novel, which all of you guys should go read, the Brotherhood novel is really good. One of my favorite parts is the fact that throughout the book, there is several times where both Anakin and Obi-Wan are thinking about Qui-Gon. And they're thinking about what Qui-Gon would do in their current situations, or how he would feel. Would he be proud of the two of them? And there's a beautiful conversation where, Obi-Wan, it's a chapter about Obi-Wan, and he's talking to Anakin, and Anakin brings up Qui-Gon. And it was just after Obi-Wan had been thinking about him. And, Obi-Wan stops and says, Qui-Gon would have been really proud of both of us. He would have been proud of the man that you've become. And of course, Anakin at that time is a Jedi Knight and everything. I don't know. Just a little thing in the novel I absolutely love. So, I mean, if Qui-Gon did show up and talk to Anakin and Obi-Wan, or Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, that would be a hell of a scene, man. I would love that. Smack some sense into Anakin. I would love that. He's just like, Anakin, what has become of you? Brandon Deek says, Bad Batch Season 2 looks like it's going to be really good. And since Qui-Gon never completed the Force Ghost training, I think we'll only hear him, unfortunately. I was kind of on the same train of thought, Brandon, although I think I'd heard somewhere in canon that at some point in one of the books or something, it talks about how Qui-Gon was able to complete his training and through, as a Force, being one with the Force. So maybe there's a slim chance we could see him as a fully appeared Force Ghost. That would be incredible to me. I think that'd be the way to do it. It'd just be more fan servicey, But I kind of was thinking the voice thing myself. I was thinking that at one point. Reva should have died the same way Dooku did. I saw a lot of fans saying that after Vader had the two sabers and everything. Do it. It would have been poetic. But I think there's more to her character, which is why she's still alive. I'm kind of confused. I feel like the moment with Reva and Vader would have been a good opportunity to end her story. It's kind of sad, but I would have liked it that way. I kind of think so, Tim. Tim. And it's. I do think there's more to tell with her story, which is probably why they didn't. And maybe they even changed it at one point. I did hear that the ending could have been changed. So maybe they changed it and she was originally going to die at the end of episode 5. Maybe not. I don't know though. Maybe she's still going to die. Star Wars back on top. You said it, Matthew Cruz. Justin B says, has season 2 officially been announced yet, or just rumors? At this point, Justin B, it is kind of just rumors. It does. There are some good reports from some very reliable people that season 2 is, in talks, or they're considering it. I think part of it is they want to see the numbers from season 1, and so the better the numbers do, which they're already doing really well. I think it's going to be hard for them to not do a season 2 based on the fan reaction from the people that have been positive on it, based on the numbers and everything. It just would almost, a lot of us want it, man. Like, we want more, and we know we shouldn't, but they should do it. They should do it. I think they should do it, though. Proxy says, I'm reading 3 Star Wars books at once right now. It's a little insane, but I'm addicted. No, I know what you mean. And I've been doing the audiobooks and everything. I have a whole list of books that I bought like over a year ago that I haven't got through all of them yet. And what ends up happening is I get like a free credit on my Audible every month. So I'll just listen to one every month. But then I'm like, so now it kind of is easier for me. But when I first started buying all the books, I'm like, I want to read this one, but this one looks good too. And it's just hard. There's so many of them. There's so many. 212 Degrees says Qui-Gon could lead Obi-Wan throughout season 2 as this Force Ghost, and then leading Obi-Wan to find his inner self as a Jedi. Maybe we see something like Rey when she gets flashbacks due to certain things. Due to touching certain things. Yeah. 212 then went on to say, we see Obi-Wan in season 2 needing to work through the emotional damage, now knowing Vader is real, which I wish we saw more of in this season. To be honest, man, the fact that now he knows Vader is alive, Anakin's alive out there, and then also I feel like they maybe could have done something with his torture and pain throughout the Clone Wars. There's a lot of other people he lost, and while Anakin's probably at the top of the list, Satine died within like 6 months before Anakin turned to the dark side. I would love to see him kind of having some pain and some PTSD from that as well. Although I think honestly this show is gonna cure a lot of that PTSD for him, but as Tala said to him, some pain lasts for a long time, but there's ways to make it better, or you can keep fighting to make things better. The Reva spinoff is confirmed, says Proxy. I don't know if I saw that. Vader's Lair, throw a pic of your Audible library in Discord. I might. I'll show you guys what I have. I have some High Republic stuff in there because I was interested, and it's not bad. It's not bad. That was legitness. Have you seen the flashbacks of Obi and Annie scene? That's a fan edit, and they de-aged Hayden. I did see some. I did see a couple, I think. Still trying to process Obi-Wan looking younger than Padawan Annie. I don't know. They both looked like they weren't DHT all that much. Regular Heptagon says, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. I definitely have heard that story. It's a great one. Y'all are tripping. I love it. I only heard the tragedy of Darth Sheev the Stubborn. Fair enough. Fair enough. What else are we saying in the chat? Proxy said, oh, I read that one. Justin B says, have you seen the Obi-Wan has PTSD video on YouTube? Yeah, that one's rough, and it's a great edit. I love that video. Tim says, shout out to Sheep for letting me use his Audible account. I hope you've actually been using it, man. I probably got to send you the login info again, but do it. Darth Chaos says, would they manipulate their own numbers to greenlight a season 2? If they knew the numbers were way lower, doesn't make sense. I don't think they're manipulating their own numbers. I think everybody was wanting to see Obi Wan Kenobi. Whether you've liked it or not, you still count as a viewer. I think there's been a lot of people that have watched this show, whether they're huge fans or not. Like I said, I think a lot of the more casual fans tuned in to this show like they would for The Mandalorian or any other kind of big Star Wars thing that released on Disney Plus. Who knows why Disney does anything they do? Only Disney. And have I heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Well, it's a Sith legend. I thought not. It's not the story that the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise. He could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. The way he does the little... He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful. The only thing he was afraid of was, of course, losing his power, which eventually he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, and his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. Sith legend happened literally 20 years ago. Sheev, you remember how Maul knew Kenobi was on Tatooine? Matthew Cruz with the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, my guy. And yes, Maul knew in Rebels. Maul found out about Obi-Wan being on Tatooine by conjoining a Sith and Jedi holocron together. Again, much love for the $2 super chat, my guy. Thank you for that. But he joined a Sith and a Jedi holocron together, which allowed him and Ezra to see the basically it's like rubbing a genie's lamp. You get to see whatever you wish for, or whatever you wanted, like whatever information you're seeking. However, it does come at a cost. If you look too long, something bad happens, and you know, it was this whole thing in the show. Go watch Star Wars Rebels because it's amazing. But that's how Maul found out, was conjoining the two holocrons together with Ezra. He doesn't find that out until much later on in the timeline after Kenobi. Kenobi has been fantastic. Hey, Jason Strope, it's good to see you in the chat. He says, hey, Sheev in chat, it's good to see you, it's Jason. Mike, I like Kenobi Porter says Disney Plus is so crazy. You said it, my guy. It is quite. So Andor is before Bad Batch 2. When is Ahsoka? Says Mike. I like Kenobi Porter. So Andor is going to be August 31st, the last day of August. And it's going to be a 12 episode show. Now they're doing 2 episodes with the premiere for Andor. However, Bad Batch Season 2 is actually dropping, I believe, September 21st? I gotta do the math on that, or I gotta look it up again. But basically, the first episode of Bad Batch Season 2 is likely to drop the same night as the mid-season of Andor. And then Ahsoka is supposed to be a 2023 show, Mike Porter. Alright, y'all, I gotta get out of here in a minute. I apologize. But any last things you want to throw into the chat and ask me, go ahead and go for it. Tim says, I think September 28th. I think that is the right date. So September 28th is likely going to be the release date of Bad Batch Season 2, the first episode at least. And that would also be the 6th episode of Andor, which is like the mid-season finale. I have a theory that the 2 shows could eventually cross over, or could end up crossing over that night. Maybe we'll see a Palpatine scene in both or something. Maybe live action and animation will actually cross over for the first time, and you'll have to watch both to understand the full story. I think that'd be pretty wild if they did that. I'm probably reaching there, but it would be freaking awesome. It would be awesome. Alright, y'all. I appreciate you guys for being here. I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. Thanks for coming to Vader's Lair. If you guys are interested, we put a video out kind of talking about some stuff we talked about earlier in the week, talking about some Clone Wars flashbacks. I think honestly, we didn't get exactly Clone Wars flashbacks in the Obi Wan Kenobi show, but we got some like pre-Attack of the Clones flashbacks that were pretty incredible. And on the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, it just made that much sense to do it. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Fingers crossed that we could see Clone Wars flashbacks in the Ahsoka show. Go check out that video that we did and our live stream from when we watched Kenobi Episode 5. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you again for being here, and may the Force be with you always. Peace out, guys.